Okay, the objective for lesson 16 is use divide by patterns for multi-digit whole number division. Okay, in these questions what they want you to do is they want us to go back to where we're going to be using place value dis. And you can see that here it says 300 divided by 10. So they took 300 here and divided by 10 and they say they had 30. Okay, that's all. Over in B, they said 450 divided by 10. So this one, they're going to, instead of using place value dis, they're actually doing uniform. So they're saying 45 tens divided by 10. 45 tens divided by 10 gives you 45. Excuse me, 45 tens divided by 110 gives you 45. All right, I think we're kind of beyond this point. Okay, so I don't think we're going to use place value dis, and we're not going to use the unit form. I'm going to try to show you something that you can use that's going to be very beneficial to us as we're moving into fractions into Module 3. Now, as I explained to you before, a division problem written like this is nothing more than a fraction that's written like so, okay, which is 18,000 divided by 10. Now, I'm going to take this down here. If I have 18,000 divided by 100, not 10, if I decode that, okay, I can see I have a common factor of 100. So I'm going to make this 180 times 100, and then I've got 100, and I'm going to multiply that times 1. Okay. Now what that does for me, if I were to write this out in vertical format, it would be 180 times 100, and since it's a fraction, it's divided by 100 times 1. And as you can see, if I'm multiplying by 100, then I divide by 100, they cancel each other out. And that leaves me with 180 times 1, which equals 180. Now, the way this would really look to make it easy, once I decode this, I can see I have on top 100, on the bottom 100. Now that equals 180 over 1, which equals 180. Like I explained before, good mathematicians do minimal math. So we're going to try to practice that during this lesson. Okay? So once again, I'm going to start by rewriting this as a fraction with 730,000 divided by 100. Now I can see I have the 100 I want to take out, so I know this is 730 times, excuse me, that's not 730. It's going to be 7,300 times 100. Then on top, I'm going to go 100 times 1. I'm just writing it backwards so it's easier to see. Now I can line out common because I have 100 on top, 100 on bottom, and I end up with 7,300 divided by 1, so I know our answer is 7,300. Coming down here, I have 900,000 divided by 1,000. Rewrite it as a fraction, 900,000 divided by 1,000. I'm going to take 1,000 out of that, so I know I'm going to have 900 times 1,000 over 1 times 1,000. I'm lining out the common ones, and that leaves me with 900 divided by 1, which equals 900. On F, 680,000 over 1,000. So we're going to take the 1,000 out of 680, decode it. So we're going to have 680 times 1,000 over 1 times 1,000. Line out the common factors, and now we have 680 over 1, which equals 680. Now, what they're trying to show you here is the same thing, except they're going with 18,000 divided by 20. They are decoding 20 to 10 divided by 2. Okay? So now you can take the 0 out because 18,000 divided by 10 equals 1,800. and then divided by 2 equals 900. Well, let's see how this stacks up to our one we've been using. If I have 18,000 divided by 20, now I'm going to take the 0 out, okay? So now I have 1800 times 10 over 2 times 10. Line out the common ones, so I have 1800 divided by 2, which equals 900. Okay. On top here, we have 18,000 divided by 200. I'm going to take out the common factor of a multiple of 10, which is 100. So now I have 180 times 100 over 2 times 100. Line out the common factors, so I have 180 divided by 2, and I know 18 divided by 2 is 9, so it'd have to be 90. The next one, we have 18,000 divided by 2,000. I'm going to take 1,000 out of it this time. So now I get 18 times 1,000 over 2 times 1,000. Line out common factors, and I have 18 divided by 2, which is 9. On D, 420,000 divided by 60. I'm going to take out the multiple of 10, which is going to be 42000 over 6 times 10. Excuse me, we just had an interruption. I have to have the times 10 here also. Make sure we have that right. 3, okay. Line out the common zeros. Now we have 420,000 divided by 6. Okay. Well, I know 42 divided by 6 would be 7, so it would have to be 7,000. 420,000 divided by 600. We're going to take out the 100. So that's going to be 4200 times 100 over 6 times 100. Take out the zeros. Once again, 42 divided by 6 is 7 with 2 zeros, 700. And our last one here, we have 420,000 divided by 6,000. I'm going to take the 1,000 out, so I end up with 420 times 1,000 over 6 times 1,000. Take out the common factors. 6 will go into 42 7 times, plus the 1 0, so we have 70. Okay, on G, we're going to start out with the same thing. We're going to rewrite it as a fraction, 24,000 divided by 30. And I can see I'd take a multiple of 10 out of there, so this is going to make this 2,400 times 10, 3 times 10. And I can take out the multiples of 10, and that leaves me with 2,400 divided by 3.
At this time, all backgate walkers
2,400 divided by 3, we know 24 divided by 3 is 8 and 2 zeros. So our answer is 800. Now we have 560,000 divided by 70, which we can take a 10 out of it. I can tell it's a 10 because I have 7 times 10. And that means I'm going to write this as 506,000 times 10. Take out the common factors. And we have 56,000 divided by 10. 56 divided by 7, not 10. 56 divided by 7 is 8, and I have 3 zeros for 8,000. 450,000 divided by 9,000. Now I can see I can get a multiple of 1,000 out of there. So now that leaves me with 450 times 1,000 over 9 times 1,000. The thousands cancel out. Now 45 divided by 9 is 5 with a 0. Question number 3. A stadium holds 50,000 people. The stadium is divided into 250 different seating sections. How many seats are in each section? Okay, well, you can see they have it written here as a standard division. I'm going to write it as a fraction with 50,000 over 250. And I can see I can take a multiple of 10 out of there because that'd be 25 times 10. And if I take the 10 out of here, I'm going to have 5,000 times 10. And I can take out the common ones. Now I got 5,000 divided by 25. And maybe you can see this one a little easier this way. I can see 25 will go into 50 2 times, and I have 2 zeros left over. Be 200. And if you want to check, make sure that worked, why don't we go ahead and go 200 times 25. We go 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 2 is 10. And we have placeholder 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 2 is 4. And we end up with 5,000. Question 4. Over the course of a year, a tractor-trailer commutes 160,000 miles across America. Assuming the trucker changes his tires every 40,000 miles and that he starts a brand new set of tires, how many sets of tires will he use in a year? Okay, well, all this is, we have a lot of different stuff in here, but the only real stuff we need is over the course of a year, a truck commutes 160,000 miles. Assuming he changes his tires every 40,000 and starts the brand new set of tires, how many sets will he use in a year? So we can tell this is 160,000 divided by 40,000. I can see I can get a multiple of 10,000 out of this one. That'd take care of a large number. If I take 10,000 out of this one, I get 16 times 10,000. Take out the common factors, it means 16 divided by 4, which equals 4. He will change his set 4 times. He will change tires 4 times. B. If the trucker changes the oil every 10,000 miles and he starts the year with a fresh oil, how many times will he change the oil in a year? Well, once again, we have 160,000 over 10,000. Now this one here is kind of unique because I can take a 10,000 out of there because I can go 10,000 times 1, and then I have 10,000 times 16. Take out the common factors, and we have 16 divided by 1, which is 16. He will change oil 16 times.